Johni Broome was ranked the 20th best center in the 2020 college basketball recruiting class, where the 19 centers ranked higher than him now. Well, to start, just in front of him at number 19 is Ryan Kalkbrenner, coming out of St. Louis, Missouri, who committed to play for Creighton. And he just finished up his 5th season of college basketball at Creighton, where he's been one of the best players in Jayhawks history, as he's named a second-team All-American and won the Big East Defensive Player of the Year 4 times and is now heading off to the NBA. And coming in at number 18 is Dane Danger, coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, who committed to play for Baylor. And at Baylor, he didn't really do anything, averaging just 2 points there, so he decided to transfer to Illinois in 2022. And he was a very good player at Illinois for 2 seasons, entering the portal once again as a 4-star transferring to Memphis for his best season of college basketball. And at number 17 is Adama Sanogo, coming out of Mali, who committed to play for UConn. And in his 3 years at Connecticut, he improved every year, becoming an extremely good player for them, leading them to winning a championship and being the MVP. After this, though, he still went undrafted, signing with the Chicago Bulls, where he has got to see a little bit of playing time, but was recently released. And coming in at number 16 is Xavier Foster, coming out of Okaloosa, Iowa, who committed to play for Iowa State. And he had a solid freshman season at Iowa State before transferring to SMU for 2 seasons, where he was a complete bust, and then transferring to Radford this year, where he was also extremely bad. And cracking into the top 15 is Jalen Williams, coming out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, who committed to play for the Arkansas Razorbacks. And he was a good player at Arkansas for 2 seasons, averaging 10.9 points and being a first-team All-SEC selection, and would go on to be selected in the second round of the 2022 NBA draft by Oklahoma City. Sadly, though, in his first 3 years in the NBA, he's been kind of underwhelming. And coming in at number 14 is PJ Hall, coming out of Roebuck, South Carolina, who committed to play for Clemson. And he played 4 years with the Clemson Tigers, improving every single season, having a dominant senior year, averaging 18.3 points a game as he be named a first-team All-ACC selection. He still, though, went undrafted in 2024, signing with the Denver Nuggets, where he hasn't done much in his rookie year. And at number 13 is Clifford Omoruyi, coming out of Roseville, New Jersey, who committed to play for Rutgers. And he was an extremely good player at Rutgers for 4 seasons, entering the transfer portal this season as a 4-star and the 13th best overall player, transferring to Alabama. And coming in at number 12 is Kai Soto, coming out of Atlanta, Georgia, who committed to play nowhere as he went to go play professionally in the NBA G League. After that, he went to go play in the National Basketball League in Australia, where he was extremely good, being a 2-time MVP. And after that, he's bounced around numerous different teams and leagues and is currently playing in Japan. And at number 11 is Hunter Dickinson, coming out of Hyattsville, Maryland, who committed to play for Michigan. And in his 3 years of college basketball at Michigan, he was extremely good, being named the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And after that, he transferred to play for the Kansas Jayhawks for the last 2 seasons, where he's also been pretty solid, becoming consensus All-American and winning the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year. But in the first round of this year's March Madness tournament, they lost to Arkansas, ending his career. And cracking into the top 10 is Frank Kepnang, coming out of Norristown, Pennsylvania, who committed to play for Oregon. And he was underwhelming in his 2 years at Oregon, transferring to Washington for the last 3 seasons, where he's been pretty solid. And at number 9 is Matty Cisco, coming out of Mount Pleasant, Utah, who committed to play for Michigan State. And in his 4 years at Michigan State, he was just kind of a bust, never really doing much there, transferring to California this year, where he had a solid season. And at number 8 is Mac Etienne, coming out of Wolfboro, New Hampshire, who committed to play for UCLA. And he played 2 years at UCLA, where he just didn't do very much, transferring to DePaul, where he also just wasn't that great. And after that, this season, he transferred to play for LaSalle. And at number 7 is Isaiah Jackson, coming out of Waterford, Michigan, who committed to play for Kentucky. And in his 1 year of college basketball at Kentucky, he was a pretty solid player there, going on to be selected 22nd overall in the 2021 NBA draft by the Lakers. After that, he was traded off to the Pacers, where he's been solid for the last 4 years. And coming in at number 6 is Walker Kessler, coming out of Fairborn, Georgia, who committed to play for North Carolina. And he didn't do much in his 1 year at North Carolina, transferring to Auburn in 2021, where he was truly amazing, being named the SEC Defensive Player of the Year and the National Defensive Player of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 22nd overall in the 2022 NBA draft by Memphis, where he's been traded to Utah and has become a pretty solid player for them. And cracking into the top 5 is Day'Ron Sharpe, coming in at Montford, Florida, who committed to play for North Carolina. And he was a good player at North Carolina in his 1 season there and was going to be selected 29th overall in the 2021 NBA draft. And so far through his first 4 seasons in the NBA, he's been a solid role player. And coming in at number 4 is Makur, coming out of Phoenix, Arizona, who committed to play for Howard. And he only played 2 games of college basketball at Howard before going to play in the National Basketball League in Australia. And after that, he's bounced around numerous different professional leagues and teams and is currently playing in Saudi Arabia. And cracking into the top 3 is Mark Williams, coming out of Bradenton, Florida, who committed to play for Duke. And in his 2 years of college basketball at Duke, he was an extremely good player there, being named the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 15th overall in the 2022 NBA draft by the Hornets, where he's become a pretty solid player for them for the last 3 years. And coming in at number 2 is Musa Cisse, coming out of Memphis, Tennessee, who committed to play for Memphis. And he did a solid freshman year at Memphis before transferring to Oklahoma State in 2021, where he was solid there for 2 years, being named the Big 12 Co-Defensive Player of the Year. And after 2 years at Oklahoma State, he transferred to Mississippi, where he just didn't do very much, and then transferred back to Memphis for this year of college basketball. And at number 1 is Evan Mobley, coming out of Temecula, California, who committed to play for USC. He was flat out dominant his 1 year of college basketball at USC, averaging 16.4 points and 8.7 rebounds, as he was named the Pac-12 Player of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 3rd overall in the 2021 NBA draft by the Cavaliers, where he's becoming an extremely good player for them for the last 4 years, as he just made his first NBA All-Star game.